I'm the best singer.
Huh?
I'm the best singer.
You're the best singer.
Yes.
Sing in Turkish now.
Kalbimde yedim, hala başka şeyde.
Destination is Prizren today. Very excited. Our bus doesn't start. So when our bus starts, the engine starts, we will be leaving.
This is called ducking. It's very, very common in this part of the world. We picked up and dropped passengers throughout the whole journey.
It is a steep hike to the castle, but I think the views will be worth it. Certainly. Yes, I made it. Let's find a good location up here. Good morning to you all from the fortress of Prizren. Prizren is the second largest city in the Republic of Kosovo, which is one of the newest, actually it is the newest country in Europe, established in 2008, but it is not recognized by basically half the world as a new country. The history of Prizren goes back several thousand millennia, but the name Prizren is first mentioned in 1019, so in the early 11th century. After the collapse of the Byzantine Empire, it was ruled by Serbian feudal lords who were supported by the Ottomans. After the conquest of Constantinople in 1453 by the Ottomans actually took control of the city directly in 1455 here. In the Ottoman Rumelian Vilayet, which is the largest province, it's basically most of the Balkans today, Prizren became a very important center, a very cultural and economical hub. And that lasted 400 years until the middle of the 19th century, when in Europe the nationalism trend was very big. Countries like Albania and Serbia started to claim lands. During the Second World War, it was invaded by the Nazi Germany and later by the fascist Italy. After the Second World War, it became part of the Federal Yugoslavia, and when Yugoslavia dissolved in the 1990s, there was the Bosnian War and was followed by the Kosovo War in 1998 and 1999. There are Bosniaks, Bosnians, Turks, Romani, and Kosovo Albanians and few Serbs who live here in Prizren. And furthermore, Turkish language is widely spoken even by non-ethnic Turks. If you do go up to the castle, on the way up or on the way down, there's a very, very little restaurant actually, but in the morning you can have certainly a cup of coffee or tea. If you speak Turkish, it's an advantage and you'll get a very friendly face, very smiley face serving you. You will also have the best views of the town. In this fast pace of our lives, I think it's a great moment, great place to stop and just be really for a few minutes. So, excuse me. Going up the hill is one thing, but coming down on these funny cobblestones that face up, one has to be really careful not to trip. And my road is blocked. Okay. Teşekkürler. Okay, safely passed with some leaves on me. The most famous and most important mosque in Prizren is the Sinan Pasha Mosque, so Sinan Pasha Cami. It was built between 1608 and 1615. It's named after an Albanian, a former Beylerbey. Bey is a very high title, and Beylerbey is basically a bey of beys and a kaymakam, so regional director in Bosnia. The building's walls are more than 1.5 meters thick. As you can see, it's covered by a single dome, but the altar area, the mihrab, has a small half dome that's at the back of the mosque, as you can see. Inside the mosque, the walls have been only painted in the 19th century. The stone flooring and the carpentry are original. This is the Church of Holy Saviour. It's a Serbian Orthodox church dating from 1330 AD. But it was partly destroyed, and unless you have a special function, you cannot go in to visit. This is the mosque of Gazi Mehmet Pasha, dating from 1573. It actually included some other buildings like a library, school, madrasa, public bath and housing. He came from a prominent Albanian Ottoman family. Dukangizade is the name of the family. He had himself this mausoleum built, but since he died much later in Hungary, he actually was not brought here. He was buried in Hungary. Building is locked, but let's see if we can have a different way of looking inside. Many ways to keep cool. This is also one of my favorite things to do. My feet in the cold water, and it is really cold. Outside could be 35-40 degrees right now, but the water is rather chilly. Woo. From this angle I see the fortress I climbed this morning, and then there is the place I had tea and then the Serbian church, and then Sinan Pasha Mosque right here in front of me. In this little shop, we are visiting Faik Bey, who's a master of Filigran silversmith. Let's see.
The ancient art of crafting silver filigrees apparently became very popular in Kosovo, particularly in Prizren in the 15th century under the Ottoman rule. Today, artisans like Faik Bamya continue that tradition. I visited the workshop of Faik Bamya. He explained the process to me briefly. Prizren, you can find Faik Bamya's workshop along the river on Remzi Adamay Street number 27 and enjoy the beautiful items they produce.
Senin ismin? Faik, memnun oldum. Anladım, hiç sorun değil. Kolay gelsin.
Buraya gelenleri buraya gönderirim. Faik Bamya. Tamam. Çok
Sağ ol, teşekkür ederiz. Veysel, ben ne yiyeceğim bugün?
Köfte var, saz böreği. Her şey var abi.
Filya'da var.
Her şey var.
Ayran da vereceksin o zaman bana.
Her şey güzel.
Tamam, teşekkür ediyorum. Çok sağ ol. Particular dish is called Filija, and it is cooked individually, each layer separately. Like they start cooking with one layer, and once one layer is cooked, and then they place the second one. Sometimes in between they put cheese and yogurt mixtures. So it's supposed to be eaten kind of warm, and I understand it's very labor intensive to prepare this thing. Of course, meatballs are again very popular here too. It's served with two kinds of cabbages, carrots, and greens. If you like sweets, this is called trileche. Even though internet sources claim it's a Latin American dessert, it's very popular here in the Balkans. Its name means bread with three milks. It's supposed to have cow milk, goat milk, and water buffalo milk. I think these days it's just simply milk and cream. The sponge cake is topped with caramel and it's supposed to be very juicy. So we'll see. Very successful. Thank you for joining me at this cultural journey today. If you like this kind of content, I would love to have you as part of my Hit the Road Cultural Journeys community and have you as a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Until another cultural journey, be well and all the best from Prizren.